You must have already seen in the movies, strong and very tall men who come to be compared to the Hulk. Well, comparing them to the Hulk makes a lot of sense, because besides giants, some of them are very strong, some it is more than the Hulk maybe. Today we have prepared a list of some Hulk's humans, that is, men as strong and big as the Hulk, men who have broken world records in strength tournaments. Stay with us until the end, as the last one is clearly the real-life Hulk. No more delays. Come on. Irvin Katona. We start the list with a giant who does things like he's the Hulk. You can even ask, but how so? Well, wait a minute and you will understand everything. Irvin is one of the strongest men on planet Earth. Born in Saborca, in Serbia, he weighs 150 kilograms and has more than 30 record titles, one of them in Guinness Book, in which he managed to roll a 980 kilogram car for 62 seconds. Doesn't that remind you of the Green Man? Reminds me. Irvin trains 2 hours a day 5 days a week. You can see where all that strength comes from. Eddie Hall. Eddie is a huge man at 1.91 tall and 182 kilograms in weight. In 2010, Eddie was considered the strongest man in England. In 2011, the strongest man in the UK. In 2015, he broke a world record. Eddie managed to lift 462 kilograms of weight. He even broke his record in the same year when he lifted another weight of 463 kilograms. For you, 1 kilogram more doesn't seem like anything, does it? But increasing 1 kilogram in hundreds of kilograms is like increasing a truck in weight. But that was not Eddie's biggest record. His biggest record was in 2016 when he managed to lift 500 kilograms, that is, 500 kilograms, half a ton. According to Eddie himself, he was lucky he didn't have any accidents when he lifted all that weight. That's a lot of weight for a human body. No wonder they call him the Beast. Dmytro Kaladze. Another one who does things like he's the Great Hulk. Dmytro is known for lifting horses. Yes, horses. Well, he doesn't carry many horses at the same time, but he can carry a horse on his back and still take a few steps. You see, we are talking about completely healthy adult horses. We're talking about 300 kilograms to 1 ton. The most interesting thing is that Dmytro doesn't get tired with the horse on his back. He only stops when the horse starts to get agitated on top of him. That's amazing. I can't even carry a dog for a long time. But make no mistake, Dmytro doesn't stop with horses. Dmytro is in the record book. He has 63 different records like this one where he can break a pole with his back. Something simply incredible. Brian Shaw. Brian Shaw is a very strong American at 2.3 meters tall and 201 kilograms in weight. He is quite giant. He started his career right away by winning the 2005 Denver's Strongest Man contest, albeit in the amateur category. A few months later, he was already in the ranks of professionals and started to do really phenomenal things. In 2009, for example, Brian was the only man who managed to lift 6 smooth stones in a tournament in Canada. These stones have each of them 200 kilograms. My God. Now imagine what it's like to carry 6 of them in a row. Brian is really strong. In 2017, he won the Arnold Contest Strongman, and in 2018 he took silver in the same contest. Zydrunas Savickas. Zydrunas is for sure one of the strongest men in the world. Few people can win 2 Arnold Tournament strongman, but Zydrunas managed to win 6 consecutive years of the contest. Incredible, isn't it? In addition to this tournament, he was champion several times in the contest Strongest Man in the World. In all, this real-life Hulk has 20 world records. But of course, lifting all these weights and breaking all these world records, he already had some accidents. In 2001, he tore the patellar ligaments in both legs. This injury would have stopped anyone from competing, but not Zydrunas. A few months after the injury, Zydrunas was there, so much so that he managed to win a competition for the Strongest Man in Lithuania and another for weightlifting. Later in 2014, he managed to take first place in the World's Strongest Man tournament, and he was already 40 years old. Amazing. Mark Felix. Mark Felix, or as he became known in 2019, the Hercules in life. Mark is 1.93 tall and 140 kilograms in weight. He is really big. Besides being big, he shows whenever he can that he is one of the strongest men in the world. He has many incredible records. The last one was recently in 2019 at the Hercules tournament hold. Mark managed to hold 2 pillars for 87 seconds. Each pillar weighs 160 kilograms. Combined they form 320 kilograms. My God, you have to be very strong to be able to do that. To make this even more incredible, Mark was 53 when he hit this record. He is a clear example that nothing is impossible. Terry Hollands. Terry Hollands is a British giant who was already a giant since he was born with 6 kilograms. When Terry was younger, he practiced judo and played rugby. He entered the gym for the first time to train and improve his rugby performance, and he improved. But a few years later he suffered an injury that caused him to stop playing rugby, which gave life to the Hulk inside him. He started doing strength exercises, managed to win the first place of the Strongest Man in the UK right away, and since then he hasn't stopped. Today he is 41 years old, but he is still in shape, and he has with him several records. Recently in 2018, he set a world record pulling a 2-decker bus by 20 meters in just 17.4 seconds. Now let's go to the most anticipated, the last on the list, the strongest man in the world. You possibly know him. Hafthor Bjornsson. Or as everyone knows him, the Mountain. He plays this role in the Game of Series Thrones and still takes the title of strongest man in the world. Hafthor weighs 200 kilograms and his height is 2.6 meters. But this is nothing new in his family. His father is 2.3 meters and his grandfather is 2.7 meters. He won the title of strongest man in Iceland 3 times, and to prove that he is the strongest man in the world, Hafthor broke a record of 1,000 years. That's right, a record that had been broken about 1,000 years ago. Do you believe? The first record was broken at the beginning of the 20th century by the Viking worm Sturluson, known at the time as the Worm the Strongest, who carried a 650 kilogram ship's star on his back for a distance of 3 steps and then suffered a serious fracture. Now Hafthor managed to carry a log of the same weight on his back for a distance of 5 steps and got out of there super well, thus breaking the 1,000-year record by 2 steps more, thus becoming the strongest man in the world.